I think
Okay, this whole thing's getting deleted.
viable decks.
Deleted.
And then I found out like a few days ago that
Deleted.
no, you might just
Deleted.
no. It's like listen, I said it like
Deleted.
exclusively.
Right. Deleted.
You
Leave
just
it.
put a bleep.
Deleted. Yeah.
Just bleep it.
Okay. Deleted.
I think Gateway is gonna be
Deleted. I don't know how to do that, but I'll learn.
We'll figure it out. Okay.
Deleted.
It's gonna be the first cards in a
Deleted.
Alright, hello everyone. Can you guys hear me? Hopefully? Hopefully the stream can hear me. Yeah, for table 14, go to table 1, I guess, in event 2. Yep. Oh, yeah, in lobby channels event 1, in online GNK's 1. Alright, sorry about that, everyone. Just trying to get this all sorted out. I should go over to Techie Play, Competitive. Alright, looks like we're getting most people in. Yep, so Simon Moon is likely not going to make it in time for this round, so you're probably just going to get a win. For table 16, I didn't think we would have this issue, but I'm glad we did, so you'll just go into Voice Channels Event 2 and add, so I think that would be like table, so table 1 is 14, table 2 is 15, etc. Table 3, yep. Yep. Alright, it looks like I'm going to start the round as it looks like almost everyone's in a table. No one at table 4. Fun. Oh shoot, I have to figure out how the timer commands work. Alright, well, we will start the round. And I guess just pick someone to spectate. And I should have asked about this first. And I should also try and figure out how to get a guest in. Okay. Let's see. Sure. All right, and let me check to make sure that Discord is not going to stream, I think, or now it should be, but um, cool. So yeah, if you want to hop into that game, or I'm in there as well. So, and hopefully the stream will tell me in a second that they can hear Pants as well. Yeah. How are you doing today? Oh, yeah. Yes. Yes. I've heard some rumors going around that there is some spicy NWE max list. So this may be our first Oh, okay. I've got something wrong with my Discord, but I will figure that out in a moment. Uh
In the I'm going to forget the exact name, but the UK store champ. And I
yeah.
did see this max in action, assuming it is the same list, which it may not be. If it is the same list, we are in for a treat because there are some wild cards going on here.
Yeah. I do know. So Robot Mascot seems to have gotten out to a great start with a early Ares scored,
Yeah.
which is you know, always a great thing to see for NBN, especially actually with Reality Plus. That's just like going to be so much
Mhm.
tempo throughout the game.
In a
Oh, and
way,
a
it's
Hive
almost better
Mind.
than, yeah, Hive Mind with 2 counters. That is sick. And it keeps one if you purge. Woof. We'll have to see. I don't know if this Reality Plus is, like many of the NBNs, going for HB influence or HB Alliance to have Jeeves so that
Mm,
you can get those value purges. But if not, this could be a problem. These 2 recurring virus counters on everything are kind of gross.
yeah.
You know, with Cookbook out, Fermenter is an easy mark.
That's true. It's always an easy mark, right? Or no, I guess it's
I
if you
guess it's
just
2
click it
clicks.
immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's no, it's a little bit worse, right? It's clicking for 2 credits.
Oh, hold on. Uh, no, okay. The interaction is you don't have to get rid of the hive mind counters, but they count like they're on overmind. So it's actually 2
Oh,
clicks to gain 7 in this case.
yes.
That's pretty sick.
That's the you know, maybe that's something that we that this deck is built around potentially.
Yeah.
I mean, and if like every other turn, like just adding 2 more to that interaction gets really good, and purging is just not like the floor on that purge is also like it's still 4 credits if you
Yeah.
need it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and yeah, getting this right, we see already there's a lot of moving parts in this max deck. You know,
Yeah.
we've got the cookbook, we've got the progenitor, we've got the hive mind, we've got the fermenters. One of the great things about Max is that you get to find a lot of pieces very quickly. The ID built around giving you a ton of draw is very strong. But as you pointed out, Robot Mascot already has an Ares scored, and out of Reality Plus, that's once you have an Ares scored, you might actually be better than CTM.
Yeah.
And we have a Lady Liberty ticking up.
Boy, this is a
Nothing,
yeah.
ooh,
So this
nothing
is
coming out of it this turn, but it's dangerous to have that on the table.
yeah, it's interesting. I'm looking at robots list. I'm like, so what is this getting out of being Reality Plus as opposed to CTM? And I guess like once you have the Ares score, you feel kind of like
Hmm.
CTM. So I wonder
Yeah.
if the deck's just like, just I want, let's scroll back. I want to see what they did turn one to see what they did to try it. Okay, so it was just install, get it, and score it turn two, just to try and rush it out as much as possible.
Yeah, so install the Ares behind ice and rush it out. I mean, the Lady Liberty makes a lot of sense if your plan is to get Ares into your score area as quickly as possible. It
Hmm.
is a way to get Ares in the score area that is very difficult for the runner to interact with early game.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And then you're just, you're CTM, but you've got a slimmer deck. You've got a full set of 15 influence,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and your ID ability gives you more gas to kind of, as they
Yeah,
start to trash your stuff.
right. So they still take the tags, they still take the tempo hit if they trash your stuff, but unlike CTM, it's hard to keep you in it's hard to keep you in credit jail, right? You
Mm-hmm.
know, if they trash your stuff, you get the credits to help pay for a hard hitting news or pay for a boom or whatever happens to be in the deck. Um, we have not seen much influence. We have not seen any influence from this reality plus. So really, anything's on the table here.
For some reason, I always thought Lady Liberty is, but obviously it's not an influence. So, yeah, I wonder if it's going to be a kill package, because that's a little bit easier to slot in and a nice way to get a lot of, you know,
Yeah,
win per influence pip, kind of, as a
yeah,
metric.
absolutely, man. Okay, so we have a knob down. Knob Curie. There have been quite a few disgusting things to put Knob Curie counters on. Obviously, we have Botulus on the table. Getting extra counters to break ice with is always nice. But Hive Mind might be the best possible target because it's just everything.
Yeah, it is a nice theoretical target. Can Botulus can use any hosted virus counter, or no? No, it has to be.
um,
I would assume it has
it,
to be the
it, it
counter on
has to be hosted
Botulus.
on itself, but Hive Mind counts it as if it's hosted on Botulus, and they can be spent as such.
So in an emergency, you could
Yeah.
manage it yourself. And Afshar seems like a very nice influence spend, which
Ooh.
also suggests to me maybe this is 2 pips. You could see, this is suggesting maybe Boom with high profile target to me.
Mm,
Um,
yeah.
though,
Also,
you know,
just a ton of value on HQ here, right? Like you throw a Botulus down with 2 counters and 2 backup ones. You expect to be able to get through everything with no consequences. You're still losing 2 here.
yeah. Oh, interesting. And they just say, well, I
Ooh.
don't want to use my fermenter. Oh, wow. Okay, so just
Huh.
trying to get money as fast as possible. Saying I got the use out of the Botulus. I'll turn that into a free fermenter and get 10 credits off of a freshly installed fermenter. That is
Well,
very cool.
if you want to run any of this stuff and you want to trash any of this stuff and you want to get Lady Liberty out of the picture before something with three something with a 3 on it can enter the score area, it makes sense. Interesting though, Lady Liberty ticks up to 2 and we still do not see anything entering the score area. That seems to me like a pretty strong signal that there's a GFI or a Bologna or something along those lines in HQ.
Yeah, I would agree. Um, sorry, I'm just doing a quick admin thing.
All good. Oh, we see a chisel come down. That's a good way to break Afshar. Never break it.
Yep, yeah, just blow it up. I guess I've had I've had my conversations with Morgan saying Chisel was never going to see play, and it looks like I owe them an apology.
Whoops. I mean, I've said the same too, so I guess I'm eating my words here also. Interesting hit in HQ. We see a Hydra.
Hydra, wow, I mean that reads as a very ambitious piece of ice for what are usually pretty poor decks, but
Hmm.
um, then again,
It
maybe
strikes
Reality
me.
Plus might help. I hope there's
Yeah,
a
it strikes me
score.
very similar.
Okay,
Oh, here we go, Bologna.
Bologna from
Not a
hand.
score, so you don't get the 5 credits, but you do get it out of your hand, and you do get to 4 points here for Robot Mascot.
Yeah, so now it's such a weird board state because you always love to be on a set presumably game point for Robo Mascot here.
Hmm.
But look at this runner with 4 counters on their hive mind, 12 credits.
Yeah.
They're taking money. They're basically drawing 3 cards and putting 2 in the bin every turn. Like, though I guess actually that's about to end. Um,
Well, and here's an important question though. Thinking of like looking at the current board state, how do you keep the runner from getting into a server for a turn? There's a symbol chip on the table. Any virus that gets installed can turn into a botulus that has effectively 6 counters at any point.
Yeah, or a chisel that just comes
Or a chisel,
in
right? Yeah.
and blows up any ice that's strength 5 or less.
Oh, and here's a conduit. This
Wow.
may be
Okay, so
over
yeah, that's
quickly.
the finisher then. I was like,
Yeah.
what do you use to finish with in this deck? And like obviously conduit makes a lot of sense here because it's coming in with 1 counter and then you're seeing 5 more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, so we get this. This is 5. Actually, if I'm getting the order of operations correct, this is 6 extra cards because of Knob Curie.
Yeah.
That will happen.
Yeah, we'll see. I have seen reports of a bug on this, but we'll that might be what's going on here.
Okay.
But
and we see,
sure.
I think Robot Mascot said it all. Oh
Yeah.
no.
Oh no, indeed. Yeah. I mean, there's a decent chance. Yeah, with 3 clicks. Okay. Yeah. Apparently, there's a bug with Knob Curie and Conduit. So, what are we gonna see? Okay.
Spin Doctor.
Our action
trying
Jackson.
to desperately lower the density in R&D, I think.
Yeah, probably. Yep.
In addition, drawing a few cards before you're in remote lock or before you're in R&D lock forever.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And then shuffling in 2 non-agendas just to bring that density up. A Beal, and then a bunch of whiffs, but you're still going to see 2 new cards on this next access.
This is fine.
This is fine. Access 7 cards on R&D.
Now, I don't know if this is the right play by Percomus, but there's a potential that some of those weren't whiffs. Some of those may have been Bolognas that are declined to steal until the second run. I don't know why you would do that in this particular point, though, because you have 10 credits. So this could still go very, very poorly on these accesses.
Yep. I wonder if that was a misclick on Conduit. Yeah, it was. Okay.
Yeah. I was wondering, trying to avoid a CVS maybe, but I wouldn't expect a CVS out of a Reality Plus deck. The dig, once again. Not seeing many agendas here. Seeing a lot of cards and very few of them are agendas.
I mean, then you have to run HQ here, right? I guess, but you have nothing to simul-chip back, so it feels really bad to hit basically any ice.
Yep, just going back for another... I mean, you do at least see an extra 2 cards every time, right? Because of Knob and Conduit both
Knob
gaining
is
counters.
first per turn.
Oh, Knob is first per turn. Okay.
Yeah. So
Still
you're
an
just
extra
seeing
card.
one extra card, but...
Yeah.
So either there's like 1 Bologna in there they don't feel like stealing, which is maybe the right call. You just kind of wait until you're actually on game point to go and go back for it.
No, one fun thing for Robot Mascot here, obviously I would be shocked if in a deck that we've seen go as horizontal as this one has, if there were no trashables in R&D. But my guess is Max didn't want to trash anything because of the Ares tag. That's extra money, that's extra tempo to the corp, and that's an extra conduit run you can't make. So the density stays a little higher for that reason.
Yeah, that makes some sense.
Yeah, so we have a purge, but in the absence of ice on R&D, those counters can come back pretty quickly.
Yeah.
It's probably buys were about like a turn or 2.
Yeah, I mean, it takes at least a full turn to get back to those, say, number of conduit accesses, and your hive mind no longer has those, 6 counters on it, which is a big deal.
Ooh, we see rebuilding, we see labor rights.
Yeah, we had seen 2 in the discard. I was like, I hope the last one's in hand. I had missed it, but...
Yep, so we see 2 labor rights being the target on labor rights, and what is the third card? The third card is Fermenter.
Fermenter. Yeah, just to keep that econ going, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little surprised it
it's-
wasn't
it's
a simul
either-
chip or anything like that, but
Yeah, Fermenter. Well, Fermenter does two things. It's a cheap virus if you want to simul chip it. If you
Yep.
need to get a botulus in a pinch if ice comes down, or a chisel in a pinch if ice comes down, and it is also money if you don't need to simul chip it. So it does two things, which is nice.
yeah, that's very true.
Now, I'm a bit surprised to see the HQ run here because Max will mill those two cards. See an
Yeah.
Enigma?
Oh yeah, that's very true. No, Earthrise will hit it first.
Oh, Earthrise triggers first. Okay. Yep. Can't read.
No, it's all good. It took me a second as well. Yep, just walk right through this Enigma. I think you use both botulus counters here. No reason not to.
Agreed. Yeah. That last click, you can do something worthwhile, for sure.
Yeah. I mean,
If nothing else, just
you
get another
run
conduit
R&D
counter.
to get the counter.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, well, this is.
Yeah. So
I'll be honest. This is not what I was expecting the meta to look like, but this is a very exciting start. So.
yeah, I guess normally I'd say is this just round one weirdness, but given the players involved, I'd be surprised if this was just round one weirdness. They're both very good players.
Yeah.
Now, Maryland campaign is about to dig down.
That'll
I
shuffle
don't
R&D
think this is a
and then...
case where you shuffle it.
Yeah, no, this is probably a case where you leave it because this is
Yep, and indeed it does get left. Some interesting interactions. Now, we did see the Hydra. I think as you point out, it is pretty ambitious ice, but I guess it fills sort of the same slot that Tollbooth used to in CTM, where if the runner lets you get rich, or if you end up having made enough tempo off of your Ares ability, it is terrible to face check. It is absolutely awful to hit a Hydra at any point in the game.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Hydra. I mean, and I guess it becomes only 8 to res in theory.
Yeah, and
But-
looking at the solutions, right, the best solution for this max deck would be just never have to deal with it, get a chisel out. Chisel comes down with 1 counter when you install it. That means you have to get up to 5 counters on Hivebind to actually be able to chisel it without hitting it once.
Yeah, and that's not easy to do necessarily, and that gives the corp a lot of time to go in and purge.
So it seems like, I mean, if I were a guessing man, I would say that the Hydra just went on to R&D. And if that's the case, that might be difficult to get through easily.
Yeah. I mean, there's not even an MK. Oh no, there is an MK in the bin, but you don't want to pay. You don't want to use an MK to pay for that if you can possibly avoid it.
Right, because even if you break the 2 most important subs, you're still giving the corp an extra 2 credits back, or letting them draw cards if they have a reason to want to draw cards. Now we do see a conduit run on R&D, so
Yep.
it's just a drafter.
I mean, yeah. So you never want to let a drafter fire, though. Maybe you could in this case, but I think play it safe. Don't get surprised by anything.
Yeah, you right now have enough of a lead that I think you absolutely have to break this drafter and don't let Robot get back into things.
Yeah, for sure. You never know when there could be a cheeky install or something. I guess is Robot's win condition here like hope that he can protect the shuffled back Lady Liberty and score a 5/3 that he can't leave on the board safely? Like
that may be it. I mean, is that where the Hydra went? The Hydra went to protect Lady Liberty?
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe you just like purge every other turn and hope that you eventually build up enough board state.
Oh,
yeah, Jeeves
this helps purge. This helps purge a lot.
Yeah, Jeeves is a big deal here.
Yeah, Jeeves install a Spin Doctor or a campaign or really anything. Just Jeeves plus do something tempo positive is huge when your opponent's win condition is Conduit. And the way that they break ice is Botulus and or Chisel. This is a wild deck.
Yeah, this is super cool. I'm really glad you called this out. You know, I'm guessing, having looked at what people have sure this is being played by a couple of people. So I suspect this will not be the last time we see this today.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll look forward to.
Oh, we see a turtle come down.
Okay, turtle makes a lot of sense here, especially because it's
Mhm.
getting boosted by Hive Mind.
Yep, absolutely. So much faster to build up to the amount of counters. Like on install, it's already at enough counters to break Enigma.
Yeah, that's so nuts. This is a really clever deck. Props to the people that came up with this so fast.
The New World Order has once again blessed us with an insane deck that I would not have thought of.
Yeah.
That does a lot of stuff when the stack is empty.
Oh, it was a dumb idea that I just did. Whoops. Sorry, stream.
Oh, we see a Simul chip get popped. Installing a Fermenter.
Yep.
So Fermenter coming down just to provide some
get
money in the late game.
$8 So we've seen there are 2 labor rights still in hand.
Yep.
So when Procomus wants to, they can spend 3. It's basically 3 clicks to use the labor rights until you turn off max. I wonder if they want to do a rebirth for like freedom here or something.
Yeah. Freedom definitely a good option because you have all of these virus counters just naturally, and I mean, Procomus is on 17 credits. It seems like credits aren't really the limiting factor, but if you have to spend 3 of them every time you go through R&D, they do matter. And if you want to contest remotes, they do matter. Another option obviously is Omar. Always get that value access in R&D, but if you're only spending 3 on R&D, Freedom probably seems better to me.
Yeah, and Omar doesn't work with Conduit per se. Like it charges
it helps
up
to charge it
Conduit.
up, yeah.
Yeah, but I think, when you can turtle through it for $2, I wonder if you want to look for a little more value.
Yeah, Freedom definitely gives you more value. Ed Kim, in theory, can give you some value, though, as we always know, Ed Kim is always wrong to Rebirth.
Yes. I mean, I was about to say, we have a brand new Rebirth target, but Loop is possibly the lowest value potential Rebirth target here. But
yes. Loop is basically just half of a scrubber, except you don't get it up front.
Yeah, it's the back half of a scrubber.
Yeah. Now, okay, so it seems Robot is going for
something in the remote.
Going for some sort of play, trying to either bait a remote run here or something's going on here, trying to advance the board state in some significant way.
Yeah, it's weird because I was thinking initially like, this is going to be like 3 Bolognas, and then probably 3 Aries, and then I guess maybe you just run some Beals to round out. Is that sufficient? 9 plus 12 plus 3. Yeah, so maybe it's just 3 Aries, 3 Beal, 3 Bologna. The Jeeves then feels like not that much of a threat because you're only getting to 6 points with this board state. Unless you're... Yeah, so I'm not sure quite what the threat is here, and Procomus can kind of just continue on R&D, though I guess there's been Shuffles and Rashidas and all that stuff.
Yeah, R&D seems pretty juicy. Oh, ping, that's a nice ice out of R+, because it's tempo neutral, and you can convert the credits into cards if cards are better for you.
Yep, and in this case, I think Robot Mascot made the right call and did turn them into cards because you want to break that R&D lock if you can, and get more tools in hand. And you've got 14 credits, little bad value, Maryland ticking down. So cards definitely makes a lot of sense here.
Yeah, one of the challenging things with... I was going to say before I looked closer at the board state that throwing stuff in a 2 ice remote could cost Procomus some tempo here because you need to play a Simul chip to break stuff, but This turtle is strength 6.
Yeah. There's nothing. There's no
I
ice
would be
that's
shocked.
going to be in here.
Yeah. I'd be shocked if there was a strength 7 ice that's relevant. So we see a GFI.
All right. So that's
Game point if there are more Bolognas.
game point if there are more Morpholones. Presumably there are. It's an
Mhm.
interesting suite that you're going to put in Ares, Beal, GFI, and Bologna. It's
Indeed.
I feel like usually you want to run GFIs with only 2 pointers, or that was sort of my rule of thumb. But
Right, because this is exactly the situation where GFI doesn't give you value when there is another Bologna to steal.
yeah,
And they can still just win on 3 agendas. Though we don't know that there's another Bologna to steal. It's possible that there's just the single Bologna.
yeah, could be. Though I feel like if you're once you're running one, I feel like you want to. I don't know. It's an odd one for sure. But
Well, it reminds me a bit of some of the old Polana and or Ag Infusion lists that were on 3 GFIs and 1 TFP. Where it was like, yep, if they get the TFP, then oops, I guess they win on 3.
it's true.
But
But you
GFI
kind
is
of-
really good.
Yeah, and most of the time it's going to be good enough. So, yeah.
Hmm.
Man, one of the interesting things is that with only a single side to report, almost everyone's already done with the round.
Wow.
And we're like, yeah, there's
Amazing.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6. So we've got 6 tables outstanding right now of 17 tables, and I think one of those is technically a done table.
Interesting. So labor rights, click 3. What happens click 4? Okay. Yeah, labor rights. Click 4 is F Edwards. This is a potential win situation for Robot. The situation that could, I don't think it's going to happen given that, yep, okay. The situation where this could potentially be game point is if one of those cards is a 3-pointer and one of those cards is a Sansan City grid for some reason.
That would be a pretty badass play that you just had a Sansan City grid and a 5/3 sitting in server 1 just slowly waiting for the tempo. But I feel like I'm surprised they drew and didn't purge.
Agreed.
I
Right,
feel
this
like
is giving a lot of value on Conduit,
yeah.
and I know that these Conduit counters these Conduit counters can come back pretty quickly, but it's not instantaneous. Purging does buy you some time.
I see people I'm saying I keep imagining a Keegan lane here, like on server if you could
Oh God.
have a Keegan and a ping in server 1 and force them to get in there, you just okay, do you hit the progenitor or do you hit the turtle in that situation?
Oh man, that's a tough call. Because obviously with labor rights, what did labor rights shuffle back? Shuffle back some fermenters and some chisels. There's another labor rights that can always get simul chip back. They can always get a trashed program back. With Knob, you can rebuild stuff fast.
Yeah.
I think you hit the progenitor to also hit the hive mind so that your purges are better.
Yeah, and Blum said they would hit the conduit, and I'm like, oh, that's also
a choice.
It's
Yeah.
also a good choice. It's really not an easy one by any means. So
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, we're at the point where I'm willing to believe just about anything could be about to hit the table.
yeah, this is such an interesting max list. Yeah,
Mhm.
so it's 3 simul chips, a turtle, a conduit, a rebirth. How much influence is that? That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Is there 3 influence just sitting out, not waiting to be that we haven't seen yet, or did I miscount? Very well could have
I
miscounted.
think
here.
you're right.
Oh.
Oh, now I need to know.
Sorry, I was doing other stuff and didn't realize that they had used 2 fermenters to gain 20 credits. Not
Yes. Yeah. 27 credits currently on the runner side and 6 counters on turtle. This is not the easiest place to be Reality Plus.
That is certainly true. Though, 22 credits and, like Mumbad, Jeeves, Nico, Spin, like this is a well built up board state. And like as scary as it is to be staring down this board, if there's a CVS in your list, like you have such a large high blowout potential as well.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why
Oh, we
you'd have
see a
CVS
purge.
unless you thought this was in the if you had some clues this might be in the meta maybe, but
Interesting. Very interesting. We see a purge and an install trashing in server 1. So clearly saying something is in server 1, something matters here. And I'm betting that you can't come get it.
yeah. Or saying I want to make you spend tempo to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the purge, you're in a very nice spot.
Right, there's no simul chip down, so in theory, face planting a Hydra could be gross.
That's true. That is very true.
Imagine ping outside of Hydra, so all 3 actual Hydra subs fire.
Oh boy. Yeah, I like
The year of our Lord 2021, everyone.
I was playing Snake and Sanjay rezzed a Hydra on me, and I was like, I forgot this was a card that existed, and
So did I until Percomus accessed it.
Sanjay was not in Reality Plus, I will note.
Interesting.
But this was Snake Draft, so it was a very very different format in a lot of ways. So. Wow, this is almost every result is already in. That's pretty nice for me.
Yeah. Always good. I think we just saw another Spin Doctor pop.
Okay.
So
yeah.
to shuffle... Oh, interesting. Shuffle back a Sansan and the DBS. So the Sansan play was potentially on the table, but you see a Bologna steal.
See a Bologna, yeah. I wonder what was in It'd be very interesting to see what was in server 1, but I don't think we will.
Agreed.
Alright, so this was...
Well played by both.
Yeah, this was a
very, very interesting game.
Yeah, like this... It seems like Percomus got off to just a rocket start, but Robo Mascot did a very nice job as well, trying to recover from this pretty wildly strong state. So I wonder if that was a 5-3 in server 1 with the Sansan and the Jeeves. Like that seems very plausible now.
It could also be a Beal, right? If they steal it, they don't win, but you can quad advance it to. Actually, no, can you?
No, you can't.
Because it says it counters past 3.
Yes.
Or advancements past 3, yeah.
Okay, well, I will probably move the stream over to another table. Let's see which ones are left open. I guess we got Test Running and Aruzan still going. Oh, nope, never mind.
Sanjay and Dane are still playing, it looks like.
They have a reported result, so I think they're just chatting.
Results.
I think it's
How about Yuka Bean and Wiley, table 10?
That, I think, is still going.
All right, they are still open. Interesting. Coming in here, we're seeing another list with some viruses installed, but a very, very different runner.
A very different runner and a very different list. Yeah.
And a very, very different corp, yeah. So in the same way that we saw asset spam, as you might, I don't know, charitably call it for R+, this is ice spam.
Yes.
This is zoom out, but it's because there are 5 ice stacked, not because there are 14 surfers.
Yes. Let's see. That said, like Tau can get, Tau's presumably made some swaps that are nice here.
Right, like the thing that stands out immediately to me is we have a Fairchild God.0 resed, and it is sitting on archives.
I have to imagine it did not start on archives.
I would be a bit surprised if it had. Yeah, actually, Tau versus AOT seems. I mean, there's just some natural resistance in the Tau ability, right? Because they want to get value in pre-res a lot of things, which gives you perfect knowledge of what shouldn't go where.
Wait, is that supposed to be a clot? I'm very confused. Well, I
Wait,
guess it doesn't matter. They popped MCA austerity and then clicked for credits after installing and advancing twice.
interesting.
And they had enough, like they could have scored. They had 3 credits, I believe.
Huh. And it's not like you're going to res ice on centrals with the money that you now don't have.
Yeah.
God, 6 ice on the remote.
This is
Jinja
when
City Grid has gone too far.
Jinja City Grid has gone too far.
We have a Fairchild 2.0 res. That is an ice that doesn't see a huge amount of play anymore, but Fairchild 2.0 sucks to break.
I'm going to quickly go to the other tables and say time on the round, but I try and leave the stream here while I do that. We'll see if I've got that high-tech dual window technology figured out.
Well, on the runner's last turn, we have a res. I believe this is game over because the corp will be on 2 credits at the end at the start of their turn. So I don't believe there's a way for them to score 4 points in their next turn to catch up to the 2v6 score. But this run could potentially end in a full win versus a timed